What's up, everybody? Welcome to Minnesota Uncut Podcast. You got your compa here, Armando.
I'm Will.
And your compa Uli.
So today's subject that we're going to be talking about, a little bit of the topic, changes, career changes, just changes in general. Kind of like what goes into being changing? Well, like what goes into changing yourself?
Like what made you do something better for yourself?
I think we're going to talk about change as a sense of like a lot of different ways, right? Like changing in just our behaviors, our past issues.
Absolutely.
Yeah, anything that we have changed that either for good or bad, like what kind of feedback we can give back.
Yep.
I would think mostly good.
Yeah. No, because I think it changes. You need it, right? You need it to evolve. If you get stuck in a place, depending on if it's a negative or a positive place, if it's positive, you just get stagnant, right? Like you're comfortable where you're at, and then there's situations where you have an addiction. There's
always a good change you want to make. Like sometimes, like I had a bad habit of eating a lot and just drinking. More than anything, I figured out that trying to look for a change, I find out that drinking was my problem that was making me fat, basically. I don't know. So
That's real.
I cut one thing, and then it helped me try to keep track of my weight loss and stuff, and I kind of progressed that way. So to me, I was like, damn, the change was good. So
yeah, sometimes
we're afraid to make a change to better ourselves, or like in work, any type of area, like.
So when you made that decision to eat better, right, to eat healthier and cut out the drinking, that something had to trigger you, right? That had to be like an emotion.
Yeah, it was. Well, I was having trouble working at like on my daily basis, just doing my work.
Oh yeah,
like getting on my knees or walking. Sometimes I would have problems like on my.
Hey, when a couple times I got to go work with you, your job is not easy. I know the hard shit you go through. So that gave me a cool perspective on your day and like what you do daily.
Yeah, so I do asbestos removal.
That was
people
dope.
Who don't know, I gotta get on my knees and do some prepping and then gotta go up and down the stairs
with heavy equipment. Hell yeah, dude. In narrow spaces and shit, hallways and fucking stairwells that you could barely fucking fit in. I mean, like you said, you were bigger before, right? I'm big.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, it's hard as fuck to get to the basements and shit.
So when I started, I was like, I just want to lose like 10 pounds and I'm gonna do this diet. And I tried it a couple times doing diet, man, and I was like, it ain't fucking working, man. Something's
gotta
happen. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so I started looking at everything and I'm like, you know what? The one thing I think I gotta change is my drinking, which it was the last thing that I wanted to let go, man. And I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna leave it for 3 months and see what that do, see if it helps
Baby
or
steps.
not. So I stopped drinking for 3 months, and then I started noticing changes, and it was starting to get easier to eat better and not, crave a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, that made me feel like I was the right change.
Right. Well, I guess, to talk a little bit more about your changes, you talking about your changes to your job, you should talk about how you changed from your previous job to your job. That was a bigger change, I think, from what you used to do to make money.
Very, very big change.
Compared to owning your own business and things like that.
Well,
it's like a history lesson with Uncle Uli right now. We're going to get a little backstory. That's what I meant. You meant that's a bigger change.
I knew what you meant. Yeah, I knew what you meant. Yeah. I was like, hey, I'm not going to say nothing. I'm going to let it ride.
That's what I'm saying is I feel like that should be... That's a way bigger accomplishment in my eyes.
No, for real. No,
well, that one was really hard, man.
That's like flipping over the book. You just completely changed it altogether.
That one was really, really hard. It was. Well, I did my time, so I can speak on it. I was a drug dealer back then, and I started first gangbanging when I was a kid, and then I made a change. I decided to change for gangbanging to going into drug dealing because I thought it was something better, something that was making money instead of just trying to gangbang on the streets over a street or whatever. And that wasn't the perfect decision right there. See, that was a change that it wasn't good, but it was a change. And then
but it was changes. Yeah.
I
You
went
know
to,
what? Just to piggyback on you, that change made it how me and you met. I mean, if you didn't go down the drug dealing path and stuff, we might not have met.
Right.
Just the
And we wouldn't be here right now doing this
right.
podcast.
I mean,
well, who knows? It
silver
could've been-
linings here. We met in juvie back many years ago. And because of his drug dealing is why he was there. And me, other stuff.
Yeah.
We'll go down that a little bit later. But,
yeah.
Definitely
Yeah,
we've made huge changes from now to then, then to now.
It's been my whole life it's just been a big change, man. And I tell people, don't be afraid to make changes. Like, I've done several changes in my life that, like I said, some of them are good, some of them are not. And you just learn from every mistake or every time you make a change. And then doing that,
Hadn't you owned like 4 different businesses already? Weren't you sold cars, was a barber, you had a food truck, successful, and now you own your own I mean,
hell yeah.
You've done a lot of good changes. Like,
well,
you're not scared to try nothing, so that's
because
awesome.
It's a hustler. I love that shit.
The hustler mentality.
I was born a hustler, man.
Yeah.
That's what I tell people. Like, I'm not afraid
implementing it in
to,
the right way though is what's dope. Is you're implementing that hustler mentality into positive things that are legit money, and there's lots of it out here. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it's like I always hear people, I want to start a business. And I was like that at some point. And I made, it was actually a lady that changed my mentality on that and she's like, how old are you? And I'm like, I'm 21 at the time. And she was like, oh shit. Like, and you started, what pushed you to start a business? I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I want to work for myself. And, I like talking to people. I like selling shit. I like,
Yeah.
So
that's a hustler.
I was like, I'm tired of doing it negative, so I want to do something positive, and I just want to change. And she's like, you know what? You're young. The only thing you can do is try, and if you fail, try a different thing. Because she's like, I regret a lot of stuff I didn't try when I was young.
Damn.
And I wish that I would have tried, but now I'm older and I don't have the time and this and that. And I was like, and she's like, do it, man. Just do it. And if it doesn't work, don't worry about it. Try something else.
Oh, yeah.
Something eventually is going to work. And my first business, like legit was detailing cars. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna clean cars. That's what I need to do. And I know how to do. So I went and I bought myself a little van and put a vacuum.
Kit? Like one of those kits and shit? Hell yeah.
And I was like that. I'm from Cali, so I was doing that Cali car wash, like driving everywhere. And people thought it was cool out here. It was mobile. And I was one of the first ones out here. And man, I was making bank at the time.
Yeah.
And so I did that for a while. And like,
So what did you do after that? What was your next step? You did that for how long, would you say?
I did that for like a year, maybe 2, I want to say.
Okay. And then what made you decide to change? You just didn't...
The money was kind of just slowly going down, like...
You weren't satisfied with it. You were hungry.
I wanted more money. I'm like, that's not enough.
That's crazy to think about now.
And then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start selling cars because I bump in that business, I bump into a lot of dealers, car dealers and stuff like that. And they were like, I was like, shit, that's what I need to do. Start selling cars.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how I got into the dealer business. I talked to a dude that would own a dealer and he was like, hey, I can take you in, you just got to pay me for a fee and I'll bring you into the business. And man, he explained it like just a little bit, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm in."
Yeah.
I jump into it, and I was like, "Let's do it." And then so I started selling cars, and next thing you know, the other day I was telling my wife, I'm like, "Remember, I used to have like 20, 30 cars in my house. Like at some point, like I was selling a lot of cars, and I didn't have like a dealership, but I was part of a dealership, and I was actually
were they at your crib?
Yeah,
they were here,
man, and it was crazy because I didn't have the space, and I was just piling cars out of my yard and stuff. And I'm like, man, my neighbors hated me at some point for that.
That's what we were talking about the other day when you brought that up.
Yeah.
You were like, yeah,
I was like,
wonder
I
why
was
my neighbors
ghetto,
hated me.
man.
Well, I suppose I had 20 cars parked in my lawn. They didn't really like that. So
I'd probably hate you too.
Yeah. But I was like,
I'd be like, man.
I'm like, man, that's how much my life had changed, man. It's like,
and so how long did you do the car sales for?
I did that for a few years. I want to say I did that one for about 4
years. And then what was the next step from there?
And then I went back to asbestos because I was like, I gotta do asbestos removal. But I was a worker now. It was in my business.
Yeah.
So it was a job that I kept going on and off every time I tried it something. Stuck there, and then I was like, you know what? I want to do something more relaxed. And I was like, I'm gonna try doing. I used to love cutting hair back in high school, so I was like, you know what? I could be a barber.
Oh yeah. Hey, there's some barbers that make bread out there.
I cut hair, and I like talking fucking all day, japping and shit. So I'm like, I'm really good at that.
Perfect job for you.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So
The gossip shop.
I went and did my barber license. Went to Cali and got my self-certified.
Oh yeah.
Came back to Minnesota and became a barber. But
Do you keep renewing that license, by the way?
Nah.
I'd be excited if you did though. That'd just be another thing to the resume.
You know the barber part, that something really bad happened to me.
Oh shit.
Somebody I partnered up with like another guy, or it was like 3 different partners that I can't speak on it, but
Yeah.
that was the first time I learned my lesson. Like, you know what? I always tell people, you're better off like
Below
failing or like,
yeah.
just say, fuck it. I didn't make it, but
By yourself.
because they did me dirty,
Oh yeah.
We did a fake contract basically with me, and they had a separate contract, and they were using me for the money type deal. And then, long story short, man, like less than a year, we got raided by the feds, and
Damn.
there was a lot of stuff going on the side. They were doing some stuff. And
Some fraud shit, it sounds like.
yeah. So I walked away from it. I was kind of bummed out, salty, but it happened so quick, and I was more scared because I wasn't trying to be involved on some bullshit, that I was like,
You're straightening your life up, so you didn't want to have
I'm like, man, I
problems.
don't want to have none of that to do with me. So I went and grabbed my chair, I grabbed my clippers, and came home, and I started cutting hair just right here in my house. And
Oh yeah.
I had a good amount of clients, so they kept coming, and they kept me going for a while, which I'm thankful. And in that process, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go back to work, if anything. And I had a paid off Silverado. It was I can't remember the year, but it was a newer model back then.
Yeah.
And I sold it, and I flipped it basically for a food truck.
Nice. Oh yeah.
I
I
went
remember you
to-
telling me. Damn.
I went to
I wish I would have met you at that time. I would have been fatter than I am now. God damn.
I went to Chicago, and I bought a food truck, and I'm like, here we go. I'm like, I'm a good cook too.
Hell yeah.
So I love cooking food, and I was like, I'm gonna jump into that. And that's one of the things that I actually did that I super enjoy a lot. But
Be honest.
it was
the money there?
Yeah, the money was there, man. But it's
a lot of
It's a
work.
lot of work, though.
in the food business, you're basically a slave, man.
Yeah.
And like you can't really have the weekends off because
That's when you sell the most, probably.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's when the business kicks in, man. And it's
That's when events are and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
so
gotta
I
be hard
was
to take time off and things.
I was
like
missing out a lot of family events, and my kids were little, and man, just not being around them on the weekends, and there was a lot of stress to it, besides. So, but I did a lot of nice events like fairs and stuff, and I would take my kids. And it was a good experience. It was really nice.
That's what I'm
How
saying.
long did
That's
you do
love.
that for?
I did that for, I say 3 to 4 years.
Dope.
Okay.
And then my wife decided to be a nurse assistant, and then I lost my help right there.
Yeah.
I wanted her to do something different, and then I thought I was gonna be able to do it by myself, but
Hell no.
I try
Realize
hiring.
how much she helped.
Yeah, when I hired people, they wouldn't help me the same, and I always just wanted somebody to just take orders. I'm like, I can handle everything. Like
Yeah.
I would, literally, my wife was just taking orders, and but the communication was like boom, 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 like
You guys were on. You were
dirty
on the same page.
tacos, fucking burritos, blah, 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 boom. And I'm like, boom. I was just like a little machine going, and you know, that's because I love cooking.
Yeah.
So I just needed somebody to handle that part so I could keep cooking, and it was starting to become more stressful. And then on my days off, I was more trying to stack on material and stuff, and it was just taking a lot of my time. So I was like, man, I don't think I really like it anymore. I don't enjoy it the same.
Yeah.
So I decided to go back again to asbestos removal. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do my job again.
It sounds like asbestos is Uli's
But now is
specialty.
that
Right
when
here.
So every time, and that's what I like. Every time I ran back to my
Asbestos.
old job, you know.
But now, is
Doing
that when you
asbestos
started your
removal.
own business? Is that when
It's
you
consistent.
became the boss of asbestos after the food truck?
After the food truck, I went back to working for the same guy. I worked for the same guy on and off. He kept taking me back because I was a good worker. You know,
Yeah.
I was a hard worker. He doesn't matter what type of environment I was doing or
Yeah.
whatever I was on. I was always trying to keep my job. And so every time I went back, he was always like, "You always have a spot here, man." So, and I was the supervisor there, and he always gave me my spot back. Like,
Yeah.
I'm really thankful for him, you know, and I still talk to him once in a while. We're pretty good
Shout
friends.
out to that guy.
Yeah, shout out to that guy. Hell yeah. That's
Yeah,
love.
hell yeah. Hey, thanks to Mr. Robinson, man.
Yeah.
He's a good guy, and he always backed me up on a lot of stuff, and he gave me a lot of good feedback too.
Yep.
So yeah, so I was working for him, and I don't really know what happened, but there was one time where he left for some vacation or something, and none of us knew what happened.
He was just gone for a minute.
We really don't know what happened. And he was
Damn.
just gone for a minute, and all the guys were like, "Man, you're really good with business, man. You should start your own business and let's do it." And I'm like, man, I really don't want to get into no more businesses. I was done. Just the stress, going through stress, man. Starting a business is a stress level really
it's
high.
not,
Like
yeah.
people think you start a business, you're gonna get rich, and this man, it's if you fucking handle the first 2 years, you made it.
Damn.
But it's the first 2 years that really
They test you.
They gonna take all the shit out of you, man. Like it's like it's the stress, the anxiety, everything comes like in the first 2 years because sometimes you don't make money until after the first year. Like when I decided to start this business, the asbestos removal, I was trying to sell my food truck at the time.
Yeah.
So during that time when that happened, I sold the food truck and I was like, man, I gotta invest this money or I'm gonna just waste it.
Yeah.
And so I decided to invest it on this business. And my wife was like, nah, not another business. And I'm like, I promise you this is my last business I'm trying. If it doesn't hit, I'm not doing anything else. But
Uli's persistent, dude. He's like,
And
no,
I was like-
I'm still doing this. What are we
so
talking
I was
about?
like, this is the last one.
Yeah.
If I don't make it, I just let go and I won't ever try
Okay.
another business.
Yeah, right?
So I got into this business. I bought everything. And then I was like, oh shit. I was like, I can't get any jobs or anything. I didn't really set myself or something like that. And I was like,
It's a startup, right? That's why they call it a startup. Like, hey, it's a startup. Like, it's gonna take time.
yeah. So I was like, man, I need to get some money. I need to get some jobs. So I started trying to see where I can advertise, but then I was running really low on money.
Yeah.
And then so I got to the point where I didn't have no more money and I wasn't getting any jobs. Like it was already 3 months already, invested a lot of money on the machines and everything. And I was like, just praying, man. I'm like, damn, I
that's
need a
stressful.
job.
Hell yeah.
And I started stressing. I remember I used to lock myself in a room and I'm like, fuck, I want my phone to fucking ring, man. Just one phone call, man.
Yeah.
I just
Like,
I just want to know that I'm alive. Somebody knows that I exist, man. You know, I'm here.
So what change happened while you were waiting that really made you succeed? Because you obviously have a successful business now. So what was there a certain turning point that just really had you on the path, or was it just the hard work and dedication and just
the hard work and dedication, man? It was what
Definitely.
really kept me going, because during that time I was doing a whole lot of stuff. So
no big jobs or anything that got you kind of
see
going or something?
That's what I was gonna tell you. Like during those 3 months, I kind of gave up, man. I was like, fuck, I was that stressed out. I was like, no more money, and I didn't know what I was gonna do for rent and stuff and food. And I'm like, I don't know, I'm done. But I didn't want to tell that to my wife. Like I was failing. I was like, man, I don't know how to tell her that.
Yeah, that's
I messed
a
up.
hard conversation to have for sure when you got to admit you're failing.
I kind of I always believed in God, you know, like doesn't matter what I did, I had my belief in God, and right there in that moment I was like, oh shoot, I need to go to God, man. I need some God in myself. And then something lightened me up that I got a phone call, and then it was like, hey, I need a quote. Oh yeah, I'll be there such and such day, boom. And then like 3 different calls came through. So I remember I did the first job. I did it almost like dirt cheap, man. But a lot of people are always like, oh, you mess up the game because you're giving out cheap jobs or whatever. Man, I needed that money to keep going, you know? So I was like, I don't care. I just need money.
Yo, fuck what they talking about. You need your shit.
I need something.
Yeah.
So I remember I did it for dirt cheap. Boom, did that job.
Yeah, go for that shit.
So was that the change?
Yeah.
You know, just to kind of circle back to our topic, you know,
Yeah,
that we were on.
The change.
The
Or even
change.
that's like a change in a business too, because you're
That's
like,
what I'm
okay,
saying. Yeah, you
need to make
change
a
the game.
concession. You need
That's
to
where the
change it.
mentality, because
Yeah.
I was used to always kind of winning. And
Yeah.
then this time it was like, oh shoot, it's not like that, you know?
Yeah, I know a lot of companies that do that. Even the big companies, they're like, I just want to get in business with you, so I'll give you a dirt cheap job, maybe 2 or 3, and then I'm going to earn your business. You're going to come back.
Yep. So a lot of the people that I actually do work for now, it's people that they helped me at the time. And I always remember the people that helped me when I was starting, man. And you know, I kept raising the prices up, and I told them, hey, this is going on. I need this money. And they never complained, and they were like, "Oh, that's cool, man. Like, we do it too. Everybody does it."
He lowballed it so much in the first place that you were just getting back to normal.
So it's time for me to make money now, and thank God I stay really busy now. And
you stay persistent. That dedication, yo, that's real dedication.
I don't.
That's some stressful shit.
I don't pick up my phone sometimes because it's like
you're doing it too much. Hell
yeah, I'm like, man, today I got
business is good.
I got like 3 different customers calling me about the same day. I'm like, man, I'm booked for like 2 months, bro. Like,
damn,
you gotta wait.
Shout out to that. Shout out to you being booked like that. That's dope.
But
I don't give out all your secrets now. They might watch this podcast.
Oh shit.
Oh man, hey, there's no hate on me, man.
Uli's out here handing free advice. He's out here just giving out free advice.
There's a saying in Spanish, el sol sale para todos, you know.
Damn. Hey, that's game.
Can you translate that for me real quick so people know?
He's saying, hey, the sun comes out for everybody. The sun's there for everybody. You just need to take advantage of that shit, baby. That's what that's about.
So no hate, man. And I'm here to help other people too. I like to see people rise up, man. And especially the young kids, I'm always telling them like, hey, you don't have to go fucking selling drugs or go hit the streets. There's other ways to make money, man, because no one really taught me that. And if somebody would have taught me that back then, it would have been a different story, which I don't regret my life, but
no. You can't.
I'm like, fuck, man, like this is more legit.
Yep.
I can wake up, feel happy. I'm not the richest person either. I'm not out here rich or anything, but
no.
I live
You're comfortable. Yeah, you're good. You're happy. That's the other important
part. I live comfortable with a lot of fucking stress in my head.
I think we all have that. That's something everybody should be able to relate to. The stress you put on yourself is going to be tougher than what anybody else can do to you.
Yeah, so that's life of my story, and right now, thank God, we're doing pretty good. So we're
amen, brother, amen.
And I'm actually starting another business right now.
Damn, what is that? Wait, real quick, before I don't want to get off subject too quick, but what is that?
Borderline podcast.
Oh no, I'm
it's an exclusive.
Thanks to one of my friends too that I met. You know, he's been there since day one, and he's been helping me. So he invited me to get into his transportation for his company. So I'm delivering granite, stone, for Minnesota.
Hey,
premium.
Shout out. Hell yeah.
Yep. Hit him up.
Some good quality stuff for real. Good quality stuff.
Yep.
Uli got you. Hit up Uli if you need it.
How about yourself? Will, tell us a little bit about you.
Let's talk about change, Will. Let's talk about your major change, baby.
Hold on. I want to, before we finish with you, you started a second business that you forgot all about.
What is that one?
We're doing it right now.
Oh, the podcast.
Oh, the podcast. That's why I was like,
I knew what he meant. But I knew what he meant, though.
I mean, that's another endeavor you're going down that. No, I'm not saying that's a business that's.
This is more. It's a business. It's a hobby. It's
I was gonna say we're early. This is the early stages. If y'all don't know, this is our very first podcast. I hope y'all know that. Please be patient. Learning
episode 1.
And actually, I think that we can leave the podcast for a specific podcast topic because I got a lot to say of why we're doing this.
Cool.
This is part of another change that.
That's why I said there's gonna be more. There's gonna be plenty more to come in your way for real. Just stay patient.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned for
our next episode.
Hell yeah, because we say some wild stuff. I just gotta be patient. But yeah. So get back. Yeah. So what about you, Will? What's about your changes?
I've got some changes for sure.
For sure.
Mine. I didn't go the business route. It was a tougher journey for sure.
What was your first job?
My first job, I worked at Devani's in Uptown when I was 14. I was the only kid leaving 8th grade to go to work. So Devani's in Uptown. It is no longer there, but that was the first job. I literally made $5 an hour when I first started. That's going to date me a little bit.
Hey, but $5 back in the day set you right.
Yeah, back in the day.
$5 an hour back in the day set you right a little bit for a kid.
Gas when I first started driving was 97 cents a gallon, so that'll tell you something.
Yes. Gas was even cheaper than that, believe it or not, people.
Yes, it was cheaper
way
than that.
Cheaper than that.
But that was cheap for me. $5 would fill up half your tank.
One time I told my kids, I still remember my dad one time complaining about 75 cents a gallon, dude.
Oh, my God.
He was tripping big time, and I'm like, damn.
Tell him to go fill your gas tank now, and he's going to roll over.
That was in California, dude, and right now, fuck.
It's like even more. Yeah, it's like way more there. Yeah. Wow. Okay, yeah. All right, so Devani's. All right, Devani's.
So Devani's in Uptown was my first job.
Yep.
From there, that was 14. I literally think I lost money going to work, having to catch the city bus and stuff. It was bad.
City bus was probably like 50 cents.
It was cheap.
It was cheap for a kid. Yeah, it was cheap for kids. Yeah.
I could only work for like 2.5 hours after work because the work, child labor laws and things. I ended up I switched and got my next job, which ended up being Subway. Damn. 46 Nicollet, shout out, still there.
He's a sandwich artist. Sandwich artist.
That was when I was 15. And now that one.
Well, el sandwichito.
El sandwichito. El güerito sandwichito.
That one, though, was interesting because they had me closing and stuff by myself, and I actually got robbed while I was working by myself at 15.
Damn. Yeah, give them whatever they want right at that point. You're like, take whatever.
I didn't
take the sandwich, take the bread.
What kind of sandwich you want on the way?
Yeah, I'll make it for you.
I was
break bread with me.
Yeah, break bread with me. So yeah.
Look,
I would have took the cookies.
No, that's what I mean. It was that way, and it was.
I'm here for the cookies.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to think of the word. Like,
what?
My boss was really mad at me actually when I got robbed, which I thought was crazy because I was mad. I wasn't even legally supposed to be closing at 15.
Yeah, that's true.
And he had the nerve to get mad at me, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Wow.
So anybody know the statute of limitations on crimes?
I am not a lawyer, and I'm not going to pretend to be one. So
I think it's 7 years.
No,
right?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's 7 years. Okay, well, I'm gonna put myself out there. I was a juvenile at this time.
Allegedly.
I may have
juvenile.
been doing $5 footlongs before they ever started advertising that. You just didn't get a receipt with your sandwich. That was all.
He was setting trends.
I'm just saying. That was when I really was starting to. Well, I was already a troubled kid, but that was where things started escalating. And going
that was
worse.
Will Big's hit.
Hey, Jared would be disappointed, even though he's a bigger piece of shit than a lot of other people out there. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion.
No relations.
It's facts. Yeah, no.
No, but so I did Subway. That didn't, I switched over to working Cub. I mean, I've worked many jobs. I worked at Cub Foods on Nicollet and 59th.
Mm-hmm.
I actually had a crazy situation at Cub Food. Everywhere I worked, I had some weird stuff happen. Like at the Cub Foods, me and my buddy Lamar worked there, and we were
shout
15.
out to Mar.
Yeah, right. Hey, shout out to Mar. Mar's good shit.
What age you say you were on this time?
This one?
Yep.
So this issue, we're kids. We're 15. We're fucking around, not doing. But we had a supervisor who was like, a Hispanic dude. I don't know where he was from exactly. Actually, I do know.
Here we go. I love it.
Yeah, we're going down this road.
Let's do it.
He was actually ex-Mexican military.
Oh, so he's a dirtbag.
So
Sargento.
Yeah, so it got bad. I actually came around the corner, and me and my buddy Mar used to mess with him all the time, but he didn't like playing with the kids like that.
That was good. That was good.
Yeah,
I love that.
But I come around the corner and he's got my buddy in the chicken wing. Like he's got him in
Damn.
I could see my buddy's face. He was in pain. Like this dude was really hurting him. So me being the hothead, I ran up and punched this dude. Just no question. Like you're hurting my boy. All right, boom.
Sargento knocked out. Let's go.
I hit him. He does like I don't know what kind of, but he like chokes me by the throat. Like he's like 30 some years old. He's a grown man. I'm 15. I'm bigger than him, but
sounds like me.
What, being short?
30 years old, fucking beating up a kid.
Yeah, right. No, you're right. Hey, we got some good references here.
Hey, anybody could get it.
Anybody could get
it.
So he grabbed me by the throat. I grab him and slam him onto the shopping carts. Somehow Cub Foods, now this is where I'm going to shit on Cub Foods a little bit. They put me on probation when an adult was physically like choking me and I had big bruises on my throat. I got put on probation. He didn't get anything because they said he doesn't understand English. How the fuck does
I'm gonna
that
start
work?
using that in the real world.
Right. This was back in
No hablo English.
I mean 2000. So this was a long time ago already. Fuck, that was 25 years ago. Jeez, I'm old.
Hey, dude, quit aging yourself in front of the camera. They might think you're fucking, I don't know. Now you're old as shit. You look old as shit. We all do.
Thanks.
I'm not gonna lie.
No, but then so
it's all right. It's love. Hey, it's love. It's real. It's reality. Come on.
So we did the Cub Foods for a while. That happened. I ended up quitting shortly after that because I was like, man, fuck you guys. You're taking the back of some dude that's choking out kids. And
yeah, no, that's wrong.
I was like, that's messed up.
It is.
So I ended up going to another Subway. That's where God, I do remember his name. So it was he was my shift lead. Here's some I got weird stories everywhere I went. He was.
But what was this job about? What were you doing there?
Subway.
Oh.
It's Subway.
This was Subway again. Yeah, hold on.
I mean, there's
Subway,
more
I'm
to it.
a sandwich artist.
He could have been the manager.
Hold up. Sandwich artist is what they like to be referred to.
I said that earlier. Don't get me wrong. I know that. I know that. I just meant like.
But I worked with this guy and
fucking making sandwiches.
Again, many years ago.
Shout out to them though. It's a hard job.
The shift.
Yeah.
The shift lead Ryan.
Simone.
I worked with. Good dude. He was good. But I go in the back room and he's weighing his weed up on the Subway scale in the back room. And I was like, oh shit, what the fuck?
Damn, that's love.
But that was, again, I was like 15. So I was like, oh, okay, whatever. I'm young. He's older. He's doing his thing. But I thought it was funny that he was using like Subway equipment.
He's like, this is Italian seasoning.
Yeah, this is oregano
I'm using on this sandwich. They wanted extra oregano.
I ended up seeing him many years later, and he was the manager of Sinners Strip Club downtown.
Shout out to Sinners. Shout out to Sinners.
No longer here.
Shout out to Sinners, though.
It was like, it it was weird
yeah,
seeing the
some of them
correlation,
did.
even from his perspective. Like, okay, you went from selling weed when you were young to now you're the manager of a strip club. Like, it's a different change. But
What other thing you did?
Hey, that's a
besides
glow up.
Subway, man.
so, well, that's what I'm saying. Had a lot of fast food jobs, so we could probably skip through some of them because
let's talk about the main job, like the ones I guess that maybe you.
Well, I think
At what point you decided to start looking for something more serious, like more money maker?
What's more serious than a sandwich artist?
No, so I had to start taking work more seriously after I got out of prison. That's when I got
Okay,
out.
so there was a gap where you
Yes.
weren't working. You were working.
Oh, yeah.
You were
I
working
was
to just
working
stay
for
alive
50
and
yeah,
eat and
well,
stay good.
Now he was working in the penitentiary.
Yeah. Oh, that too.
75
Yeah, there's jobs there. Yeah, you're right.
You need your high school diploma. You can make 75 cents an hour.
Damn, that's
shout
bread.
out to Miss Tammy that helped me get my diploma before I went to prison. She knew what was coming and she tried to help me out. So shout out to Miss Tammy.
Hell yeah. Hey, shout out. Hell yeah.
She used to come down to the juvenile detention center and bring me independent study packets to make sure I graduated at least on time. So
Put you on game.
she knew that would help me even a little bit because otherwise I would have made 25 cents an hour. So I made a 50-cent raise, which
Damn.
still wasn't anything, but it could have
But
been much
50
worse.
cents is 50 cents. So it's
50
being
cents
real,
or something. So I worked for nothing. So when I got out, I got a job at Deli Express.
Deli Depress.
Deli Depress. That's,
Deli Depress.
if anybody doesn't know, Deli Express makes all the gas station sandwiches. Well, they used to. Now,
At least in Minnesota, for sure.
Minnesota has a lot.
Yeah.
So-
to Eden Prairie.
Yep, out in Eden Prairie there. It was a packing company and stuff. So I did all that. My uncle hooked me up with that job when I got out, and that was a big deal to me to work
Hey, real
right
quick.
away.
Shout out to Deli Express because they're hiring people with backgrounds like that. Like,
Yeah, I mean, they
just
gave me
need
the
an
chance.
opportunity, right? That's what I mean.
and-
companies like that, a big company, that's kind of balls to do that.
And not
it's
only
different.
so to touch on that a little more, I had multiple opportunities with it. Like they really didn't care about the record side of things. I got to do data entry with them. I was a pack off lead for a while.
See?
Like they gave me opportunities to do other stuff. So it definitely gave me a lot of experience to help me move forward as my work career moved on. I also ended up having another full-time job at the same time. I worked at the Crocs kiosk. That's actually where me and Jose met.
Hell yeah, baby. Crocs.
Out
baby.
at the Mall of America.
Hey, I worked at Liz, but I did
he
work at
worked
Crocs eventually. We'll touch on that later. But yeah.
But so I was over there. Kind of we had touched on in our previous episode. The going from drug dealing or hustling to retail is perfect because I still know how to hustle and sell stuff. The gift of gab, just talking stuff up and making it sound really good. Like you got to have this. This is the new wave. This is it.
Yep.
This
is what's on fire. This is what's selling right now.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Hey,
So-
we were selling and slanging and wearing Crocs before all these kids thought it was
Yes.
cool and
I
repping
mean,
that shit.
I could tell you all about how the antimicrobial resin.
started
Let me
this
stop.
taste
Let me
shit.
stop.
I think we did because it was strictly just like little suburban white kids and like white families wearing it.
Yes.
Now-
Santa Cruz. Shout out to the Santa Cruz. It's
Yeah,
still
Santa
probably the most
Cruz made it
comfortable,
fashionably cool to wear Crocs.
most comfortable Croc. They stopped making it the same as they used to.
Yeah, they
but
did. But
It was a dope shoe.
we were wearing it before everybody else thought it was cool.
Yes.
But yeah,
No.
go ahead, my bad.
So yeah, Crocs was dope. I was there for quite a while. I actually got really sick when I was working 2 full-time jobs, and I ended up. It was back when like H1N1 was really strong. The flu was going on, so I didn't have that variant of it, but I knew it was bad when the doctor came back in and he like had the mask on. It was like, stay away from me, basically.
No,
And
put
I
this
was
man
like,
in a
oh.
bubble right now.
Yeah, he was like, here, put this on and then go away. Like you're sick badly.
You're diseased.
But and the doctor told me like, hey, we don't want you to be any highly populated areas or things like that. So you don't want me to go to the Mall of America? Is what you're telling me? All right. But my boss at the time wanted me to go back to work before my
Damn.
time. So I ended up quitting that job because, I was really sick and he didn't care.
I was going to say, I worked there, so I would have got that shit too if he went. Hey,
Right.
shout out to Will for not going. 'Cause I would have got that shit.
But no, that moved me on. I ended up became a shift lead at KFC, I believe was my next spot.
Oh, yeah. KFC was tight.
I used to hook it up.
Shout out to KFC. I'm shouting out everybody, goddamn it. KFC, though.
Hey, KFC was bomb back in the day.
Back in the day, it was. Yeah. Not anymore.
Yeah.
No, they're not cool anymore.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, back in the day, that was fire. Like, that's real. Now it's a.
So when me and again, this was early in me and
changed a
Jose,
lot.
early in me and Jose's relationship.
topic.
Yeah.
Early in me and Jose's like friendship. When I'd bring buckets and buckets of chicken home at the end of the day, and he had kind of like.
I had a whole fridge full of buckets of different
All right,
like JoJo's, mashed potatoes.
How much you
chicken.
were making then?
How much was I making?
Shit.
Oh, like $7 an hour.
All right.
It was still not.
We're
showing the
going up,
progression. We're showing the change.
We started at $5. Now we're
Yes,
going at $7.
We're at 7, so we were moving up. That I worked at the Savage KFC / A&W.
Oh yeah.
That, not around anymore. Sucks, but it was tight.
It was hell yeah.
So I worked there. That stopped working. I ended up going back to Crocs and got another opportunity. And this time I went in as an assistant manager at the Mall of America. They switched over to an actual store, not a kiosk.
Yep.
And that was a pretty big deal, like at the time, because again, Crocs were kind of a novelty thing when we first started. That's why I said we were doing Crocs before anybody were doing Crocs. But
we just had kiosks. This is before a store. These were just kiosks.
They didn't have stores, but it boomed that much that the store was super popular. Like we'd be sold out all the time. But so I went there. I got offered a manager spot that I didn't want. I actually tried to turn it down, and I kind of got blackballed into taking it because it was for the Ridgedale Mall kiosk. And I knew it was closing down, but they just wanted me to basically babysit it to get it closed down.
And I worked there.
And I ended up hiring Jose. He needed some extra hours.
Yeah, that was a great hire. I need the money.
Yeah, he needed the money, and I needed an employee to come work with me because I couldn't do inventory if I'm stuck sitting there.
Damn, you were dragging Jose back then already?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I needed that bread too, baby. I needed that bread too. God damn it.
Why not work with your buddies? It made time go by faster. So
It did. It was fun.
we
Yeah,
worked
free
at
smoothies.
Yep, Jamba Juice.
Nice.
Jamba Juice. Shout out to Jamba Juice.
I stole one of their employees.
Oh shit! Yeah, we
was it?
did. Yeah, the white dude. Yeah, the white dude. He
I
was
don't
cool. He was a
remember
cool
his
dude.
name.
Yeah, I know
He
you're
was
talking
cool.
about. I don't remember his name, but I know he was cool.
He had the weird fox tattoo. Never mind.
All right, so
But so they closed down the Ridgedale Mall. I knew it was a short-term gig. I was kind of mad. I took a salary position. It was like $26,000 for the year, which, it didn't add up when I had to work like 60-hour weeks. I was making less money than as an assistant manager. So
and working more.
and working a lot more. Yeah, it sucked. I ended up leaving there. That was probably the best change I made. Like going
There we go. That's a big change. Okay. Yep.
because that opened the door. When I left Crocs, I got into Dairy Queen immediately as an assistant manager. And when I went there, that was huge because it was like a $10,000 raise.
I think that's where I actually bumped into you.
Yeah, we bumped in again. We reconnected from our previous juvie times.
Hiatus.
Yeah, the hiatus.
The hiatus.
Yep.
It happens. It'd be like that. It'd be like that.
When he was selling cars and stuff, I was selling ice cream cones. Whatever.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
But Dairy Queen, it was that again. We're talking about changes. That was a huge change going from the salary position of $26,000 a year to going to Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
No experience at Dairy Queen, but it was an instant $10,000 raise a year. It was hourly, which was great.
That's easy.
Yeah, it was
Easy. Well, the job's hard, but it's easy decision.
Yes,
Easy
no,
change.
it was big change because that was way different money.
Yeah.
When
Life changing.
Yes, when at the time.
Yeah, at the time. For sure. Yeah.
So did that for about 5 years. Worked at both the training restaurants, Richfield, Annie Dinah.
Yep. I thought you were about to be a manager or GM. I was like, damn, he's about to really be in Dairy Queen. He's about to be filled in fucking cones and shit.
There was some transitioning happening in the higher ups, and it just didn't work out that way.
It's that corporate.
Corporate gets involved.
It'd be like that.
And
whatever.
And then from that job, you bump into
my current job.
your current job.
I was going to say. So when I left there, it was actually maybe even a bigger change. I now work for the Minneapolis Park Board. Which
shout out Minneapolis, baby. Southside Minneapolis. I'm sorry, Southside Minneapolis, baby.
Right.
That's what I rep. Southside Minneapolis all day.
I literally get to clean up the parks and go to the parks that I went to as a child. I played at Pearl Park, McRae. Falwell. But so now I work for the Minneapolis Park Board. Love my job. I'm very adamant about trying to make parks a safe place for kids to go. I'm a firm believer in that.
For sure.
After doing time and things like that.
Yeah.
Now I'm an advocate for the parks. I think the kids need a place to feel safe and just play, be kids. you're gonna get to the adult shit. It comes fast enough with
We're
the
gonna
phones.
go deep into your job in a different episode for sure, because I know you got a lot of stories to tell about your job too. So.
Yeah, no, that's
He's got a book he could probably write.
Yeah,
I've got a lot at this job, but I'm currently at the Minneapolis Park Board, and I like my job a lot actually. Could do without some of the politics that go with it. I don't like just that stuff, but
that's cool.
the overall, I like my job. Like,
Yep.
it's a fun job. I get to be outside. I get to, literally, I'm in a Kubota and I'm picking trash at the parks. Like, you're stuck in an office all day or something, and I'm like, yeah, I get to be outside when it's 75 degrees and sunny.
Real quick, I am not always in an office. I'll tell you that. No, I'm really not. No,
but sitting in meetings or things like that.
Oh, I'm also out. Well, hey, trust me, y'all know.
Yeah, but I think that's
I'm outside, I'm outside, baby. I'm outside more than you know.
I think that's where we're currently at here.
So we're talking about career changes, and I know you guys had some really great, interesting come ups, right? Some big events and big changes in your lives.
So now we're thinking like, so how did you started working? What was your first job?
Bit different,
I got a lot.
I was gonna say, Jose, I just know a little bit. So are you gonna go down that road?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if we have enough time for that. But
right.
If you want to, more than anything, like what was your like big change or
sure. So I'll kind of touch on it real quick. So like my first actual job, I was in high school. I was probably a freshman, maybe going into a sophomore, and I did framing. So I worked in construction.
Okay.
So I learned. That was one summer that I got to do that, and that was in Colorado. So that was hard work. To touch a little bit before I go into that, so kind of that in the climate that we're in the atmosphere we're in, me and my mom came down here undocumented. All right, so we came here. I came here at 3 years old, not really being able to work. So when I did that job, I did that under the table, but I made bank, bro. Like every week, I was making like $750 every week. Allegedly, right? Yeah, allegedly. So from there, right, that's kind of where I learned the hard work that it does take to be able to do a job like that, a manual labor job. There was a little bit of a gap where I got the sense of that, and I was like, I'm gonna take a break, right? So I did high school for a little bit, but my junior and senior year, I moved back to Minnesota. I worked at Mall of America. But before then, I had a lot of little odd end jobs. Like I even worked at a factory with my mom at Blockbuster. This is like before Netflix was big. This is when Netflix, like you had to put the CD in there. Yep. I did that with my mom.
Oh, shit.
She hooked me up with a job. I worked a little odd end jobs here with Will, like in some factories. Remember we did the factory jobs at 169? And stuff. I hated that shit, man. Right? Okay, like that man, that made me feel like shit. I was like, yo, this isn't some shit I want to do.
God, what was that? Latouri's, right? Is that what it was? Bro, I think it was Latouri's.
Bro, let me say this. Shout out to these old Asian ladies and old Mexican ladies and people from like other countries that were immigrants that were just making me feel like shit because they were doing like 16 times the amount of work in the same amount of time as I was doing. Okay, so shout out to them. So I did that for a little bit, but I didn't like that. Right?
That's another episode that I want to talk to. Like,
because I saw it too, and I'm like, yo, you know what? This is why white people don't want to do this job, right? Because I grew up privileged. I grew up, I had to do manual labor, but that was just lifting. As a young kid, already in sports, that was for me. That was like exercise. That was me making money doing shit that I could already do in the summer.
Yep,
right.
But yeah, so then in high school, I was working in kitchens. I worked some odd end jobs in kitchens. I worked at Wolfgang Puck for a little bit. I worked at a deli for, I believe he was from Egypt. Shout out to Egypt, man. He was cool as fuck. He put me on game. He put me on his business. He kind of put me on that stress that you were talking about.
Yep.
He was touching on a lot of that to me,
that was
right?
When you were downtown, right?
Yeah, downtown. Yep. And then I worked at another spot in Little Canada where I worked at a deli, right? I got traded.
So what were you doing?
I got traded. This motherfucker didn't. Yeah, so he didn't, because I didn't really care, right? I was young. I didn't really care, and I was the only cook. So he had to count on me for a lot, which I could handle.
Oh shoot!
But my attitude wasn't that good. So he's like, hey, I'm gonna go somewhere else, but I got you a job. So shout out to that guy for at least thinking of me. He could have just fired me and been like, all right, fuck you, get the fuck out of here. Traded me to another guy that he knew, and I had to go out to Little Canada and work there in another deli, right? And this is like in a corner store. So I was that bodega guy. Okay. I was Aki before Aki was big, okay? But I wasn't that eccentric. I was like, what the fuck you want so I can make it and get you the fuck out of here. But I made it good, okay?
All right.
All right, but then when I was at the mall, right? This is when I met Will. This is when Will comes into the picture. So,
shoot.
So I was working at Wolfgang Puck, and I was realizing like, yo, they closed down. I needed to get another job. I happened to go to high school in the mall, so I needed to get a job in there. So what I did was the very first thing was I just started putting my resume everywhere, man. I was putting myself out there. I was like, I'm hustling. I don't care where it was. A Baby Gap, Old Navy, Lids, Foot Locker, any restaurant. Hell yeah. For real. No, I had to, though. So I got a job at Qdoba before it opened up. I did an interview. This is my very first, like, maybe authentic interview where somebody didn't hook me up with a job underneath, or I worked at some type of temp agency where they're like, hey, just go here. Yep. You don't have to interview. You got the job. Just go here. Make sure you show up.
Oh, so I did an interview. I did the temps myself.
Yeah, those were. We'll touch on that, but that temp jobs they can be great, but that should be a bridge. That you should use that to get to somewhere if that is what you're doing. So I did that for a little bit. I worked at Qdoba. I realized I didn't want to work in kitchens anymore. All right, and I was still undocumented at the time, so my options were very limited. I happened to apply at Lids just randomly. I fucked with hats. I fucked with sports. I can do that. I'm like, I go in there. I know what that is.
Shout out to hats.
Shout out to hats. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Liz. Shout out to 5950 New Era. But
we'll take sponsors.
Yeah, we'll take sponsors.
But never mind.
Hell yeah. So I did that. I did that for a really long. I mean, I did that for I would say a couple of good. Like I say a long time because it's like in your teenage years where you think like 2 years. That's a lot of time. Started off as a key holder, then became assistant manager. Needed more money. You know what I mean? That's what it is, right? It's that like hunger. It's like, I'm not satisfied with this. So they kind of flipped me around in different stores. I had to work at Ridgedale, but at the same time I worked at the mall. I happened to work at Crocs. I worked at a kiosk. Will got me a job there. Shout out to Will for getting me a job there, making me some extra income. Damn, you hit the wrong one. Damn, you hit the crickets. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Shout out to Will right there on that one. He hooked it up. And it was a relatively easy job. Hell yeah. I wasn't a good salesman like Will. He was over here selling those little gibbets. And
yes.
I'm just out here like, yo, you want this white lady so I can just, go back to my phone or whatever. I was out here macking. I was out here macking on women, but I'm not going to touch on that. So a lot of the time, but to talk about change, that's when I realized like what I'm doing it's not gonna make me better. It's not gonna evolve me. Like I feel like I was young, right? I just wanted to have fun. I wanted to relax. I wanted to just do the bare minimum.
And that's what I'm saying. Like when we were young, jobs weren't that serious to us.
Yeah,
it was
even now, teenage kids don't care that.
I remember
it's even harder to hire people now.
I did some jobs just to go check out some lady.
Yeah,
right.
Maybe they got young ladies in this job right here. I'm tired of this one job, so
and it'd be like that. So then after that, I realized that like retail is still for me, right? Just like you guys, I'm a hustler. I like to talk to people. Yeah, I can talk. I may come off sometimes like I don't, but I can have a conversation with somebody, and I'm pretty helpful and I'm pretty technological. So this is at the time where I got a job at Best Buy. I worked at Best Buy. I had a homie that I went to high school with, hooked me up with a job because he got hired on. And this is when the Mall of America, Ian. Shout out to Ian. So shout out to him, right? So he got a job there working in the warehouse, and he's like, hey, they're just hiring a bunch. This is back when they opened up the first store in the mall. Yep. I applied. I got a job. I started working in home theater. Now, at the time, this is just home theater for Best Buy. They saw potential in me, not to flex, but I was putting up big numbers for the Midwest. I was putting up big sales. I was putting up big numbers as far as like TVs, as far as like even just services. Like this is back when like we were really sending people out to install this stuff in your house. They're still doing it now, but this is like when it first started, right? So you kind of had to earn the people's trust. They saw my potential. They raised me to a Magnolia sales guy. Magnolia, which is like higher end AV equipment.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. Shout out to Juvenile, Cash Money.
Yeah, this is Juvenile. Yeah, baby. Hey, but they Magnolia projects. But they put me on. So they were like, yo, like you have the gift of gab. You have the gift of sales. If you can sell basic TVs, basic model stuff, we can make you sell, Bowers and Wilkins. We can make you sell just luxury AV equipment. So I was selling the top of the line TVs, top of the line speakers, right? I learned that. There was a little bit of education that you had to learn. That's when I realized, like, these corporate offices, all they want you to do is they want you to learn. They want you to want more. Yep. And that's you needing to want that. So at that same time, I realized that Best Buy, it's not going to be around long. This is when Amazon was really cracking. And I knew that these stores were going to start getting shut down. People are going to want to order online. So I was like, what's one business I can get in? My wife happened to have a job working for a management company. This is managing apartments and townhomes.
Oh, okay.
She got a job as a weekend leasing agent right here in Bloomington. And then she was like, hey, they're hiring too. They need the other weekend person to work that too. I was like, all right, bet. And this is at the same time I'm becoming a legal citizen. So I had to go through that process at the same time that I'm kind of evolving my career. So at that time I did have it. I had my work permit, but I still wasn't a legal citizen, which is still bring a whole nother stress to it, right? Because I'm working for somebody else. Unlike you, I get it, right? Like I wanted my own business, but I know there was that stress there. And I don't think I was ready. I don't think I was capable of doing it at the time with my situation. And that is what it is. I'm okay with my decision. I'm okay with where I'm at. So once I got that job, I realized this is where I need to stay. People are always going to need housing. When are people not going to need housing, bro? Yep. Right? So I did that really quick, maybe within 4 months. They were like, hey, do you want to work full time? You can apply at this assistant manager position. It's a townhome community out in Chaska, rich white people. This is back when rents was probably still affordable. Like a 3-bedroom was probably $1,200. For a 3-bedroom nice townhome in Chaska, next to a lake, next to a golf course, next to a PGA golf course. So it was back when things were affordable. So that's when I realized, like, this is the company I want to stay with. I'm gonna take my time.
That's good.
Stay with the company. They moved me a couple of different properties. I did a little bit of odd end stuff. I even did caretaking, man.
So you started in that company as a
weekend leasing agent.
Okay.
I worked every other weekend with my wife, and this was a small property. It was about maybe 47 units out in Bloomington. So I didn't really think too much of it, but I was like, if I can get my foot in the door and they see that I'm persistent, I'm good at blah blah blah, they'll move me up. So they did. They moved me up. They moved me up as assistant manager. I was there maybe 7-8 months. They were like, yo, you want a property manager position? Did that. Moved me to another building. Did that. And steadily, these buildings are different. They're either more units or they bring more stress to the job, right? Because like you have bigger teams. When I was solo in the office, I had, So
now what rank you're at or
Oh, yeah. So property manager for 9.5 years. Recently, within the last year, I actually became a regional manager. So now I have 9 properties under my portfolio. Hell yeah.
Nice.
I got my citizenship. I'm legal now. You know what I'm saying? They can't deport me. Y'all can try to deport me, but you can't.
So is this position more relaxed or more stress?
It's more stress. It's more stress, but you know what?
More money.
More money, but not. I still have that good balance where I can do shit outside of work, right? I mean, yeah, I do think of my work a lot. Like anything can happen. Like if a building goes on fire right now, I have to go and respond.
But that's how your life kind of becomes more interesting too. Yeah. It makes it more challenging for you.
Yeah. I got stories for you, brother. Like I can definitely tell you, I've been through the ringer. Different aspects and like maybe what you guys have went through, but I think we all have our own story. We all have our own events. We have our own pain, and you can't minimize anybody else's pain. You can just say, this is mine.
And that's the whole idea. Like we all got to make our own changes different ways. We all got our ways to make our changes, but doesn't matter what position you're a business owner or an
employee for a company.
For a company, you still there's different things that we got to make change.
Yeah, and believe it or not, I'm gonna touch on this real quick. I'm not gonna take up too much of the time, but so the management company that I worked for, they've been in business since 1958, and they did things a certain way for the longest time. And the new president of the company, she's definitely taken it to a different direction. She hired me, some kid. I didn't have a real estate license. I don't have a college education per se. I did a little bit of college, but not too much. But she took her chance on me because she saw the work that I put in. She's like, I should have been giving this to somebody that has this, and this accreditation, but you have the experience. I've seen how you act. I've seen your work. The numbers are there. You're putting up what you need to do. And that's why they gave me that opportunity. So companies like that change with the times and realize like it might not be the education, it's maybe the experience. Like I put in 9 years, bro. Like I know.
Hey, shout out to your company.
Yeah, and for real. And they did the same thing. They have another black lady. Her name is Celine. She was with the company for a long time. Single mother. She had to work the shittiest apartments, man. How you're in Richfield and Bloomington with roaches and this and residents that are threatening you. And she made it as a regional. So that's what I'm saying. It's a company that always just kind of changes and shows love.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's good.
That's good. Well, I think.
I think it was a good podcast, right? Yeah. Like I said, it's very therapeutic. It's good to have to talk about these changes.
Well, thank you for following us, and make sure you hit like and subscribe.
Hell yeah, we'll come back. We'll come back with more, baby.
Yeah,
all day.
We'll have more. Perfect.